Many of us live and function from a place of trauma. We may not know we're doing it, we may not know that we even have trauma, but we do certain things and behave in certain ways that definitely indicates that we work from a place of trauma. The reason that we are not aware that we're doing this is because most of us associate trauma with a big event. An occurrence happened in our lives that was very traumatic. We remember it and we know what it did to us and how we feel about it. Therefore, we've dealt with trauma. But the expanded version of the word trauma means not getting emotionally validated as a kid, not being heard, not being counted, not being taken into account, consideration, being neglected, a whole heap of other things could cause us to feel like we've dealt with trauma. But by the typical definition of the word, we don't associate it with trauma. Now, if you've been someone who has been hurt, has been neglected, hasn't been emotionally validated, acknowledged as a kid, then most likely you are still functioning from a place of trauma. And what are the signs that you are doing that? So that you're aware of it and you fix it and you deal with it. If you haven't been to my page, welcome. I'm Hamasa. I look at personal development as well as day-to-day issues and emotional and mental well-being. If you haven't subscribed to my page, please, if you would like to do so at the end of this video so that you're up to date with all my content. I just want to jump into the signs that you need to look out to know that whether you're functioning from a place of trauma or from a place of health. First thing to look out for is if you have chronic social anxiety. If you're continuously worried when you're out and about with your friends about what they think, how they feel, are they having fun, and most importantly, what they think of me, did they do this because of me? Did they make that comment towards me? Did they like me? All of that. You're so consumed into making sure that they like you and you're included that you're not even paying attention whether you like them or you want to be included, or whether that you're enjoying this get together and shindig, or are you just constantly concerned about how people perceive you? That's a big sign. And the second point also links to this very closely, is about wanting to be chose. So you want to be chosen all the time, be it by romantic partners, be it by friends, be it by whatever. You want to have the invite, you want to be picked, you want to be liked. If you're out on dates, you're so concerned whether that person likes you and you come across well and they see who you are and all of that, rather than actually thinking, but do I like this person? Do I want to be around them? Am I enjoying this? You tend to brush over your own needs, wants, and likes. In fact, you're not even aware of them. To you, the whole thing that matters when it comes to social environments is whether they like you, they are choosing you, and they are thinking and wanting good for you. So it's always about how they feel towards you rather than what you feel towards them or the situation. And that is an indication of a trauma brain. The next thing to watch out for is the constant need to be distracted. And that's so easily done today with social media. Because what happens with someone who has trauma brain, they don't feel safe in their present moment. So if you don't feel safe in your present moment, because it brings back those feelings of the trauma, triggers, reminders of how it feels, then we're going to look at things and people and anything to distract us and to not be in the present moment, because the present moment is not a safe space for the trauma brain. So we try and be distracted. Before it used to be uses of drugs, substance abuse, drinking. Now it's excessive use of social media and addiction to social media, scrolling aimlessly for hours, things like that you need to pay attention to, because those are you trying to escape your present moment and not feeling safe in it, and just anything to distract yourself consistently, then those are not good signs. You probably can't be alone in your own company, you can't face your fears, you can't have these difficult thoughts and conversations with yourself. So you'd rather ring someone, chit chat, scroll through, be distracted on socials, do anything but some alone thinking time. signs of some sort of suppressed trauma that you probably don't realize. So it's not like one or two things that means that you definitely have trauma. You need to pay attention and watch out for whether you do these things at the same time, or just there is a number of signs that you're experiencing trauma brain. The next thing to look out for is these big narratives that we make in our heads, which is ego-based, and we literally criticize ourselves. We are the biggest critics of ourselves, and we are constantly comparing ourselves, which also very closely goes with the need for wanting to be on social media or consistently scrolling, because that will fuel our need for comparison. So if you're someone that dealt with some sort of trauma and suppressed that, or you're not aware of it, this comes out in you're constantly looking at stories and narratives about yourself, being extremely harsh on yourself, gaslighting yourself and comparing yourself, but not in a good way, to other people. So just putting yourself down and seeing how amazing everybody else is doing and how bad you're doing. These are like the self-sabotage, the criticism, all those things that you're nothing, you're not doing anything right, are parts of you that have dealt with trauma and feel like they're not good enough, they haven't been fulfilled, they haven't been healed. And that's what seems to come out when you have these thoughts and feelings towards yourself. Like the trauma brain takes over and builds a narrative in your head that you're just not okay, you're not enough. And finally, you have a real lack of self-trust. You don't trust your word, you don't have confidence in yourself, you don't believe what you're doing is right. Again, the self-sabotage and all of that comes into it. So you are constantly feeling on edge, you're looking for reassurance from other people, you're looking for validation and to be liked and chosen by other people, because you can't give that to yourself. That's why other people's opinions and thoughts and whether they like you become so important to you, because you don't like you. And so you're looking for that in other people. You want that validation from the outside source. And so you self-sabotage because you feel like you can't give that to yourself. These are some of the indicators of trauma brain. And if any of them do resonate with you, or most of them do, then you need to look at ways that you can get yourself out of this trauma space. Because what we do is that we always show up for our friends. We're supportive, we're there, we try and make things work, we listen, we're compassionate, we're kind, but we fail to do that for ourselves. And how could you go around filling others when you're running on empty? You're going to burn out, you're going to do things for everybody else, but you're not taking that moment and that time to fulfill yourself, to make yourself feel good. And the problem is that none of these narratives are probably true about you. It's just that you've been conditioned to feel and believe these things because of the trauma that you dealt with. That's why you need to break out of this cycle and habit and really try and get yourself out of the trauma brain and look back at the things that making you feel this way. Why is this self-sabotage coming? Why do you have such a doubt in yourself? You need to teach people to trust you and to believe in you. And in order for you to do that, you need to do that yourself. That's how you teach people. You teach people how to treat you. And that goes by the way you treat yourself. So please pay attention to that and see where it is that you're self-sabotaging and allowing your trauma brain to take over, rather than showing up as your real, authentic self to places and situations and people. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have, please subscribe to my page, like and comment on this video, share it with someone who may need it, and I will see you guys here again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.